background and I'm fading in and out of it. So anyway,
Well, we're glad you're here. Welcome.
thank you. I'm happy to
And
be here.
thank you all for joining us. We are thrilled to have you here, and someone who invited you here really must care about you, or they wouldn't have invited you. This information is very, very important, and we're super excited to have you here. Tonight, we're talking about phototherapy patches. Let me pull one out and I'll show you. LifeWave brand, that's the name of the company. And it's this lovely phototherapy patch. There's nothing in this patch but a little crystalline structure. And that's when you wear it, it reflects your own body heat as a form of light into that crystalline structure. And then it gets reflected back at you as at a frequency that your body recognizes, and then makes different peptides and antioxidants and things. So it's pretty amazing. And we are here to tell you about this technology, and then also how to get it and how it may benefit you. And then at the end of that time, we're going to switch gears and also share about cancer and alternative treatments to cancer. So I just want to remind you that we're not here to treat, diagnose, or cure anyone or anything. We are here to share information about something cool that we found, and tell some stories, and they are personal, but you need to take this information and talk to your healthcare practitioner about it. So it's not something that we can treat, diagnose, or cure with. So with that being said, I will go ahead and share my screen. There we go. Okay. Ooh. Are you guys seeing a banana?
Nope. We're seeing the circle. Oh, we see a banana.
You see a banana?
Yep.
Okay, I'm trying to switch.
Bananas now.
We don't want to see bananas yet. I'm trying to get it to go. Okay.
Now we're at the beginning.
We don't want to see those bananas yet. Okay. Here we go. I don't know why my computer's being so very slow. I apologize. Okay. We are talking about regenerating our cells with light. We're going to talk about the power of the patch tonight. And again, I'm not a medical professional. I've just done a lot of research and I care about people, but I need to have you consult with your medical professional regarding your health concerns. What we're talking about this evening is about light and frequency helping make positive changes in the body. But two of these gentlemen, you may recognize the names, Albert Einstein and Thomas Edison. They both talked about frequency as possible modalities for healing. So I think that's pretty amazing. Obviously, there was something to that. And this light therapies and phototherapy, different modalities have been used throughout the generations, literally. But these are some more modern uses of light as forms of therapy. And light is obviously, it's not adding any additional drugs or chemicals into your skin, into your body. It communicates with your cells, And it is the way that these patches work, it is safe. There's no dosing needed. It's not a something that you can overdose on, and your body is so very smart. You wear a patch for 12 hours on and 12 hours off. This X39 patch we'll be talking a lot about this evening because what it does is it signals your body to create or make GHK copper peptide. And that GHK copper peptide is very important. We'll do a little bit of a deep dive tonight on that copper peptide and why it's so cool. This is a patented technology. There's the patent. There's long form on the website if you want to read it. But this is proving that it says it increases copper peptide in the subject's body in a non-transdermal apparatus, and it reflects or emits specific wavelengths of light to elevate the levels of copper peptide GHK-Cu in the body. And up above that highlighted sentence that says it produces beneficial effects to a human body, such as the activation of stem cells. It's one of the many things that GHK copper peptide does. What does copper peptide do? These bullet points are bullet points coming from the subject of studying copper peptide. Dr. Lauren Picard studied GHK copper peptide for over 50 years. And so it's amazing for the skin and your hair. It accelerates wound healing. It's amazing for the lungs. If you know of anybody with lung concerns, I would highly recommend having them take a look at this as something that they can add to what they do. It topped the list of over 1,300 bioactive compounds for chronic pulmonary issues. It's very, very effective for helping the brain and your nerves. It also helps your brain signal, it's brain balancing with hormones and neurotransmitters and things, but it also helps your brain release happy neurotransmitters. And it is, look at this, anti-fast growing cells. And we're careful, we have to be very careful about how we share this, but this is what GHK copper peptide does, and these are results from tests and studies done. So it reprograms cell death for for aging cells. So it's either telling the cells to shape up or ship out. It inhibits this compound NFKB, which is believed to promote fast-growing cells, and it also repairs damaged cells. It resets your genes to a younger state, and 84 genes are ones that are kind of ones that they watch for cancer markers. It resets them to inhibit fast-growing cells. That's pretty amazing. And then another beautiful thing, it increases your superoxide dismutase. It's antioxidants. Antioxidants are what help your body grab onto the things that are causing oxidative stress in your body, grab onto it and neutralize it from damaging your body, your cells. So that's pretty powerful and amazing. It's also why we're supposed to bump up our antioxidants when when our bodies are feeling dis-ease. So let's talk about stem cells for a minute. What are they? We've heard of them, but not everybody knows exactly what they are. So let's go back to the beginning of you, which an egg and a sperm meet, And when they do, that becomes a cell that starts replicating. And those cells can become anything as they're dividing and replicating, they become anything that that baby needs. And as the baby's born with a lot of those stem cells that are continuing as the baby grows. And then the stem cells continue to repair and regenerate our bodies until we're about 30. And after that, it's a downhill slide. So we our stem cells decline as we age. By the time we're 60, we have about maybe 10% of our stem cells, and they're specialized by then, not necessarily pluripotent stem cells that can become anything, but we have only about 10% of them left, and we heal, as you notice, probably a lot slower, and aging has started. So we are talking about this GHK copper peptide because it activates our cells. So we're talking about it's body heat activated. It's reflecting your own infrared light. And then you place these patches based on acupressure points. Usually the X39 goes at the base of the neck or just below the belly button, and it works with the meridians of the body so that whatever it's telling your body to make becomes systemic throughout and flows throughout your whole system, and it uses your blood flow, your energy to move it. Let me talk about Miss Marci. She is a dear friend of mine. I was on a Zoom call with her earlier today. She is a delightful human being. She had her fair share of struggles. Back in 2019, she had already been through a double mastectomy, chemo, radiation, and she had been thought she was free of those cancer cells, and then when she was had a checkup, she realized that it was back, and back with a vengeance, with a side order of another kind of cancer, and it was in her lymph nodes. And the doctor was very concerned and said that it was pretty aggressive, and she did not know what to do. So then her friend, who's also a naturopathic doctor, discovered the X39, learned about it, and brought her 10 of them. And her response was, "What are you doing bringing me Band-Aids? What? I'm dying, and you think these Band-Aid things are going to help me?" And her doctor friend was like, "What have you got to lose?" And she's like, "Okay." So she started wearing these patches, and in 10 days, she started detoxing, and she started detoxing. The taste of chemo came out of her mouth. Her skin on her hands and body became very soft. And then she literally felt a lifting of her mood, and felt hope again. And beautiful story. She has been in remission for over 3 years. So that's our dear Marci. So I have a friend on this call that has her own story about using the patches, and I would love to find you. Elizabeth, can you unmute yourself and share your story? Where are you, my dear?
Absolutely. I'm
There you
waving
are.
at you.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
well,
you.
yeah, thanks so much for having me on tonight. So like Marci, I've gone through my own cancer situation. And I have a rare cancer that there just isn't a lot of science on because of how rare it is. So I knew I did a year of chemo. It was pretty awful. I thankfully had heard Marci's story from Cami before starting patches. I too experienced the chemo purge. It is everything that she told you. I had this awful metallic taste in my mouth. thought I was losing my mind. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, that's right. She said that this other person had this issue with the patches. And that kind of pretty quickly sold me on I need to start implementing this into my routine. Because when there's not science, it's when you Google this condition, it's absolutely awful. And I didn't want that to be what other people who were diagnosed after me saw. So I started sharing my story on Instagram. And I was always a little nervous about sharing the patches, but every time I go to the doctor, I'm like, yeah, we got to tell people about that. So for me, I actually had a condition downgraded. I have a pituitary tumor, which caused Addison's disease, which means my adrenal glands don't work. So I can't produce my own cortisol and other hormones. And when I switched to endocrinologist, of course, you have to run a whole new battery of tests. And he said, I'm changing your diagnosis because Addison's is no longer correct for you. You don't have primary adrenal failure. And, he thought it was maybe a misdiagnosis, but he looked at my old labs and he said, no, it was correct. We really don't see this change. And I'm like, well, I have these fun little stickers that do all kinds of things because you guys keep telling me you don't know how to help me. So I have to find something that will. My diabetes, I have steroid induced diabetes because I have to do steroid treatments. And that has been reversed to the point I was told to not diet so hard because I was having issues with low blood sugars. And the only, doctors, they can be hit or miss, right? And so I would tell them about the patches and they'd kind of be like, okay, sure, whatever you want to do. But then I keep coming back and things are improving, that there's science that says that's not how it works. And I tell them, I don't have anything new to tell you. All I do is put this cute little sticker on every day, wear a different one at night. And as a result, you're decreasing my meds. I'm able to do more. I have more stamina. I get to have a much better quality of life. And so it's something that's really important to me to share with people because it can be a very hopeless diagnosis. And not everybody knows that there's natural medicines and all these other things that you can look into or try because we're not taught that. And so as a result, a lot of people just know Western, just standard allopathic medicine. And while I'm very grateful for the help I've received from that, it's not a complete picture. So I've been doing the patches, gosh, it's got to be close to a year now. Cammy, I'm like, let me see. And
I think so.
a lot of people had these big stories of, oh, my pain's gone, this or this happened. I kind of felt like, is it not working for me? But then I keep getting these lab results that they've got to be working because there's no other explanation other than what has changed is that I'm now wearing these patches. So I wear X39 every day. I use Aeon for inflammation. At night, I love Silent Nights. It is, if you have any issues with sleeping, I have full-blown insomnia, not with that patch on. As soon as I put it on, you just feel this sense of calming. And so it's one sometimes, even if I'm not meaning to sleep, if I'm just having an emotional issue going through life, I'll go pop the patch on because I get that sense of calming. And so to not have to be using other medications with side effects just to get sleep so that my body can reset, it does it with the patches. And so it's a whole new level of feeling empowered in my own healthcare and not like I am just condemned to whatever these doctors are going to put me through because there's no science to fill in the gaps for me. So I'm very grateful to the patches for doing that.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your story. Oh my goodness, Liz. That's just so you had Addison's that's cleared up,
Yeah,
diabetes.
so it was primary adrenal insufficiency is Addison's disease, and I was downgraded to secondary. So my
Okay.
body started to produce, forgive me, I don't pay attention all the time when he talks because it's a lot, but it's another hormone. So I no longer qualify for Addison's because my body has started to produce that hormone on its own,
Fantastic.
which, doesn't happen.
Right. Oh my goodness. I love it. Isn't it awesome when we can prove them wrong?
Oh yeah.
Oh, and I love your spirit too. I was writing down the quote that you said that you were empowered in, and then it went too fast. So I'm going to have to re-listen to this and write down what you quoted, being empowered in your health journey. And that is exactly what I want to help people do.
Mhm.
So
Yes, for
thank
sure.
you,
Thank you,
you.
Elizabeth, for sharing.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, appreciate you, girl. So thank you, my dear. All right. So I know that in a few minutes we will talk about we're going to share more about these patches. And then, oh, I think there was a question in the chat, Liz. What patches did you wear at night? Okay. So you shared what patches you wear. Okay. Great. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So going back to our PowerPoint. Okay. So hopefully everybody's participants can now see my application. Oh, good. All right. So let's go look at some other pictures. Here's some more stories. I want to highlight my friend Roger here on the right. He had been dealing with a couple different types of skin cancer for over 15 years when I met him last June. He had over 20 surgeries. He was done being cut on. And so when I met him at a business personal development meeting, later a group of us went out to dinner and somebody was saying, hey, these patches are improving my skin. And that perked up Roger's ears. And he was like, tell me more. So we met the next day and I went through and I helped him decide which patches to purchase. And he went all in with 4 different patches. And he, you could see the results in less than 2 months. He had amazing results. And he's still on a fantastic healing journey. But wow, that's my buddy Roger there. I love it when again, we have tools to help our bodies heal. Here's accelerated wound healing. We won't go through all of these pictures, but these pictures you'll find on a website called Start X39 Now or startx39now.com. So, this scar remodeling next week, I'm hoping to have my mom on as a guest. She has had 2 different kinds of cancers. And one of the reason this picture is so important to me is that she had scar tissue growing inside her intestines that we didn't know about until it became a problem. And so to see this scar remodeling because of the patches, it really, really helps my soul. This is a beautiful picture. I just patched a chiropractor on his neck with some disc damage from falling on horses. So I'm super excited. I shared this picture with him. This took some time. This isn't an overnight fix. This is over a year of patching. So I don't want to set the expectation that this is a quick fix, but look what you can do. Um, so many good things. So we're talking about major cellular repair. Hair. Now this lady had a radiation treatment and she was patching. And look at the time. We've got June 6th to June 23rd, significant improvement. Look, 24 days from June 6th to June 30th. It's pretty amazing. And then don't forget about your furry friends. So I recommend that you use them for yourself and then tape them onto the collar of your furry animal. So, Joy, do you have power? Would you like to share how
I-
to get these?
Sure. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. Perfect. Okay, so we actually recommend that you get back with the person who invited you here to order patches if you have not ordered them yet, or if you need assistance with that and you need help figuring out with your person who invited you, then you can talk to Cami or I, and when Tracy is back, Tracy. I want to talk a little bit about the patches. The X39 and X49, the X patches, the repair cell patch is the X39 that signals the GHK copper peptide, which then wakes up the pluripotent stem cells in your body. That is the one that Cami was talking to throughout the night. It retails for $149.95 for a 30-day supply. But we like to actually have people get these wholesale. And for wholesale, you can get them for $99.95 with a package. And X39 and X49 are in this price point. And there are other patches that are in, that we call supportive patches that are in a different price point. The X49 actually helps with EMF protection. It helps with turning fat to muscle faster. It helps with bone density. It helps with organ function. Like I said, X39 actually helps with cellular repair, and it can become any type of cell that you need in the body to heal. Next slide, please. So the supportive patches are Eon. It helps with inflammation. The slides are not going, Cami. Okay,
Oh.
yes, thank you. So the next, so the supportive patches, Eon, we recommend that actually the first two patches that you start with are Eon for inflammation and the X39 for all cellular repair. Because Eon helps to lower the inflammation, and if you have stem cells, they will actually go towards taking down inflammation and detoxification before they can actually go to work on repair. And so that's why we recommend people use the Eon and the X39 synergistically together, because the Eon takes care of the inflammation so that the X39 can actually wake up your army of stem cells that can go straight to repair. And then there's multiple other patches that detoxify, that support organ health. There's ones that actually block pain. It's a 2-patch system and it's quite amazing. Next slide, please. And the supportive patches you can get for, I believe it's $79.95 retail, and down to $49.95 wholesale. So again, we recommend doing a wholesale package, and then also getting on a monthly subscription order so that you can continue to actually work towards your long-term healing. Most of the people, it's not a short-term fix where you wear the patch and you have an immediate result. For me, I did have an immediate result the first time that I wore a patch, but for a lot of people, you want to wear the patches 1 month for every decade that you are old to get to the healing phase. And they are working on your body. It just depends on what different things you have in your body, whether you have toxins, whether you have inflammation, whether you are drinking enough water, have bioavailable vitamins and nutrients, the things that you need for cell creation. Within The first few days, it resets a third of your genes to a younger, healthier state. Within 1 to 3 months, can you go back, Cami?
Sure.
Within 1 to 3 months, you will start to have better sleep, more mental clarity, more homeostasis in your emotional state. And then within 3 to 6 months is when you'll start to see more repair. So sometimes what else happens is that we actually do not remember where we started. So it's very important to fill out the health tracker, to write down any medications, supplements, ailments, illnesses, and make sure that you know what you have to begin with, because we have all had different things actually change in us that we did not anticipate and did not remember that we actually had until somebody brought it up and asked about things. And then we're like, oh, wait, I don't have that anymore. And so as humans, we just need to keep track of where we are, and then we can check in. Because I've had people tell me that the patches they've used for 9 months and they had no changes. And then they were reminded that the first month they were able to get off their blood pressure medicine. So it's just amazing how we are as humans. And I want to talk to you about the wholesale packages and how you can get them. There are 3 different kits. We recommend the first kit. This is actually an old slide, and I apologize. We actually have a core
Oh,
kit. They
it
changed
is.
the kits to different ones. The core kit is still $299.95, and you can get 3 X39s, or we can mix and match different ones. And then we recommend that for one individual. And then if you're a couple or 2 people, we recommend the middle kit. And it is $535. You get 6 points towards patches, which means you can get either 6 of the X patches or up to 12 of the supportive patches, but it would be a mix and match probably depending on what your body needs and what your goals are. And then the biggest advanced kit is actually for people who have a big family or are sharing with a lot of people, like practitioners or different things like that. That was actually something that I ended up doing. I ended up doing the middle kit and then upsizing, because you can do that. And it's just a difference in price, and then you get that many more patches later on. And so if you would have any questions after we get done tonight with the rest of our talking and testimonials and different things, we will be on here to answer questions, to help actually figure out what patches you might need for whatever is going on with you. And we can answer any questions that you might have. And with any of the supported patches, I know we went through them kind of quickly, and this is an old slideshow. I apologize with older information, and they've changed some of the things since then. I also want to tell you that there is actually no risk in getting the patches, because they offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. Which you can use all of the patches except one, and call the head office and receive your money back if you would like, which I've not had anybody actually do. So anyway, here is a slide with the actual packages. The core pack is $295. The advanced pack is $535. And the, I can't remember what the third pack is called, but it is
Premium.
more. Premium. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Anyway, and we also recommend that you get set up on an auto order, because we're all human, and I forget, and I don't want you to be without patches, because consistency works best, and I want for your body to be able to repair and heal and be at its optimum. So Anyway, I'll give this back to you, Cammie.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Joy, you are a trooper. I apologize. I spent so much time on the back end of that slideshow that I did not realize that I had an old slide in there. I apologize. But I did put the form in the chat. So if any of you want to download the correct forms, that is in our chat. So please do so. Or you can go to the website again, startx39now.com, and you can download the forms there. Also on that website, a new place, also where you would find out more about all the different patches, is a form that talks about different ailments and different things that may be of concern to you and what patches would be suggested based on what they do. So it's a pretty cool form, very useful if you are new to patching and you just don't know this stuff off the top of your head. So I highly recommend that tool. So next steps would be to at least try this. Joy mentioned a month for every decade you've been alive, but at least try it for 90 days. I X39 and Eon, and we'll explain in the next segment a little bit more why. But I wanted to invite you back next week as well. We do this Zoom call that's informational about the patches every Monday night from 6 to 6:30. And then on Tuesdays, we do that patch information, but we tailor it more towards a certain topic. And tonight we're talking about fast growing cells. And we have a couple more guests to share their knowledge with us and experience. And but if you at any point in time you want to do this in a Zoom format to share with your friends across the country or across the world, I'm available. Tracy's available. Joy's available. We will come alongside you and help you share this information with your friends. So please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Now, it's my honor and my